Jade's fingers trembled as she rewound the footage for the 5th time. The cabin's living room, bathed in the sickly glow of multiple energy drink cans, filled the screen. Day 3, her own voice narrated, thick with exhaustion. We're halfway there, guys. How's everyone holding up? The camera panned across her friends' faces. Marcus, usually the Joker, stared blankly at the wall. Zoe rocked back and forth, muttering something about shadows in the corners. Ethan and Alex were locked in a heated argument about whether the trees outside were watching them. Jade paused the video, her stomach churning. How had it all gone so wrong? It had started as a dare, a challenge for their YouTube channel. Stay awake for 96 hours straight, document everything. They'd even coined a catchy name, the Sleepless Pact. First day had been easy. Games, movies, conversations that meandered into the early hours. By the second day, irritability set in. Small disagreements exploded into shouting matches. But it was the third day when things truly unraveled. Jade pressed play, steeling herself for what came next. On screen, Ethan suddenly stood up, eyes wild. They're coming, he whispered. Can't you hear them? Who's coming? Marcus asked, fear creeping into his voice. The wakeful ones, Ethan replied, his gaze fixed on something beyond the camera. They live in the spaces between sleep, and now they've found the way in. Zoe started to sob. I see them too. Oh, they're everywhere. The footage dissolved into chaos. Screaming, running, the sickening thud of someone falling. When the camera steadied again, Alex was on the floor, a gash on his forehead from where he'd hit the coffee table. But he was smiling. Alex? Jade's voice shook. Are you okay? Alex's eyes snapped open, and Jade felt her blood run cold all over again. His pupils had expanded to fill his entire eye, leaving nothing but darkness.
We're here,
Alex said. But it wasn't his voice. It was deeper, older somehow.
You've opened the door, and now we're free.
The video cut to static. Jade slammed the laptop shut, her heart pounding. She glanced at her phone. 3 a.m. She'd been awake for nearly 72 hours now, afraid to sleep, afraid of what might be waiting in her dreams. A soft knock at her bedroom door made her jump. Jade? Marcus's voice. Can I come in? I don't think I can be alone right now. Jade hesitated. The last she'd seen Marcus, he'd been huddled in a corner muttering about the spaces between. But she needed human contact, needed to know she wasn't alone in this nightmare. Come in, she called out. The door creaked open. Marcus shuffled in, his face haggard, eyes ringed with dark circles. I can't stop seeing them, he whispered. Every time I close my eyes, they're there, waiting. Jade nodded, fighting back tears. I know. Me too. Marcus sat on the edge of her bed. Do you think if we just gave in and slept, it would all go away? For a moment, Jade was tempted. Her entire body ached for rest. But then she remembered Alex's pitch-black eyes, that voice that wasn't his. I don't think we can, she said. I think if we sleep now, we might never wake up. At least, not as ourselves. Marcus nodded slowly. So what do we do? Jade turned back to her laptop. We warn others. We post the video. Tell everyone what happened. And then? Jade met Marcus's gaze. saw her own fear reflected there. And then we stay awake for as long as we can, because whatever's out there, whatever's trying to get in, it's waiting for us to close our eyes. As if in response, the lights in Jade's room flickered. In the momentary darkness, she could have sworn she saw shapes moving in the corners, heard whispers just beyond comprehension. The Sleepless Pact had been meant as a challenge, a bit of fun for their viewers. Instead, they'd opened a door to something ancient and hungry. And now, in the dead of the night, Jade and Marcus could do nothing but cling to consciousness, knowing that with every passing moment, the entities they'd awakened grew stronger. Sleep was no longer an escape. It was the enemy.